in their contest, but they had a day to kind of regroup and prepare for this one. And I would imagine that Coach Rudy definitely got into them a little bit, and I'm sure we'll have a much better effort on day 2.
Yeah, they've got some big-time players over there. Jameer Jones, one of the best freshmen in the country. He showed flashes yesterday. Jason Jackson, one of the best 2023s in the country. He showed flashes yesterday as well. So I'm excited to see if they can rebound from yesterday's effort.
Andrew Rondon will be a guy that we'll focus in on Rip City squad as he controls the tip. And Rip City in the black, the View in the white. And 5 on the floor. Ray, Levinson, Nichols, and Rondon for Rip City. On the other side, you've got Jason Jackson along with Peter Goldberg, Henry Castello, Jaden Dudash, and Jameer Jones.
Not often that we're starting fives all 1 through 5. Makes it easy for you, right?
Absolutely. Especially when the coaches put the players down in order, numerical order.
The fire plug for Rip City yesterday was Kalen Nichols. I'm looking forward to seeing him have a big game as well. He played with such energy yesterday, really took over the game.
So I mentioned the View lost 68-32 in their contest. As for Rip City, they had a come-from-behind victory over Life Christian Academy, 75-69. Lefty layup, a little strong, rebounded and pulled out by Goldberg. Here he brings it in the front court. Left wing for a 3-ball. That's good. Castello tickles the twine with our first field goal.
It's been a little sloppy to start with some turnovers back and forth.
Now we have a 2-on-1. There's the lob. Good defensive effort getting back. That was Levinson who deflected the lob pass.
Well, often in showcase games like this, you'll see guys let things like that go. This weekend, all teams have played extremely hard, and there's been no giveaway buckets. And I appreciate seeing that. I appreciate seeing good basketball. There's Nichols slowing it down a little bit.
Now the drive to the basket with the right hand that falls. Rip City field goal for number 5, Kalen Nichols.
A little bit more of a slower pace we're seeing here in this game than we saw in the first game of the night.
Well, if it's anything like a normal high school game, which you see players from the next game sitting on the sidelines watching the last game, trying to figure out how can we live up to it.
Absolutely.
And that is a hard task based on the performances of the teams we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's any living up to what we just saw. I think these two teams need to just play basketball and not worry about that, because that game, that was an amazing game. The ability to come back from a large deficit, what looks insurmountable, to make it a game, kept the crowd engaged. Everybody here had a great time.
So second free throw falls home for Rondon. And a perimeter jump shot off the side of the backboard was deflected on the shot attempt. So stay down that end to the View. Goldberg will trigger.
They're going to talk about it a little bit.
And the inbound. Dudash. Dudash had 6 yesterday. Dribble penetration. Nichols again. Found his teammate on the left side. Catch and release. And now they're running again. The view. Stepping away from the basket. And now they'll regroup. Castelo.
Yeah, foul away from the ball. And there's Navon Shabazz, the 8th grader that we talked about yesterday. Good defense there.
And the lob leads to a layup.
Jason Jackson did a good job turning it over, turning defense into offense.
Jamir Jones.
One of the most athletic players in the country, regardless of class. But in that class of 2025, his athleticism is just far above.
Listed at 6'5". I see some growth in his future as there's another steal. It's Dudash. Finds Jason Jackson. Jackson trying to penetrate. Gets stopped, kicks it out to Dudash. Will regroup to Goldberg. Perimeter passing.
Rip City, this is the same zone they brought late against Life Christian Academy that caused all types of issues for them. The View's going to shoot the ball a little bit better than what Life Christian Academy does, though.
Henry Castelo with the second three. It's the View with the lead, 10-4. And the basketball for another Castelo three. Perimeter jump shot by Shannon Fry.
Looks like they're trying to trade threes right now, and you can't get caught up in that. You have to play your game. And you watch here, Castelo finds the ball in his hands, wide open. The closeout came too late. Hand down, man down. We teach all the time when you close out, you have to close out doing 2 things. Number 1, under control, and number 2, high hand. Neither of those things happened in that, and that's why you had a 3-point play from Castelo there.
Offensive foul called inside against Dudash. We can't believe it.
Well, here's the thing. Typically, if you're questioning who the foul's on, just look out there and see who's saying, what, me?
6-point game, 2 possessions.
What you mean? I didn't foul anybody.
On the right side. The pull-up is good. Yvonne Shabazz. And back the other way, Jamir Jones going high above the rim. Shabazz again. Rebounded by Jones. Finds Dudash. Extra pass to the right wing. Dudash gets it back. Now spread the floor. Got to find the right matchup here. Jackson has it. Euro step, shot up in the air, and it's good. Jason Jackson. 6'4" junior. He had 11 yesterday, did Jackson.
That's off the mark, but he's not playing like an eighth grader. He's playing with a lot of confidence out here. I really like the upside and potential for that young man.
Perimeter three up, a little strong.
Got 7-point advantage here in the final minute of the first quarter. Here in this situation. And here you have Jameer Jones jumping out of the gym. But if you're Rip City, you want to start to close the gap a little bit, if possible, here before the end of the quarter. Give yourself some momentum going into that free timeout, as I like to call it, at the intermission.
Jackson has it. Finds a teammate at the free throw line. That shot attempt was too strong. Put up there by Jackson King. Bounce pass in the corner. Shabazz step back, three in the air, and it's good.
It's a big time shot.
High pass thrown into the crowd. Nichols holding up. That rattles off at the end of the first quarter. 14-10 is our score. And the View with the lead.
Here we have another look at Navish Shabazz. He's knocked down 2 threes here early. The eighth grader shown up. He's making a name for himself. He says, I belong here. Welcome to Miami.
Stay locked for more of the Battle Miami right here on Peacock.
Well, we started.
The second quarter is underway here at the Battle Miami Florida Memorial, where everybody is flying above the rim.
Jameer Jones. He is impressive.
An auspicious way to start the second quarter. Dudash.
Dudash wanted to join the dunk party, but I just don't think he had enough in his legs left. Here we have Jackson's going to kick it ahead to Jameer Jones. Go get it at the rim, young fella. I can't believe that young man's only a freshman.
He is special. And he's definitely happy, too. He's enjoying every bit of it. That's the thing about prep sports. It's truly the love of the game.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. How do you think the NIL and the new NIL rules are going to affect guys playing for the love of the game versus guys playing for an opportunity to make some money or an opportunity to take care of their families earlier than, a professional situation?
Well, we live in a capitalist society, so of course they see the culture is that of work hard and earn what you can, and their ability to work hard, it happens on the hardwood or the diamond, the field, the play, the court, the links, whatever it might be. So I don't begrudge them, the ability with their likeness to take full advantage of it. And I think that the thing is more the coaches and the administration have to adjust to that and their mindsets. And, of course, keep that nefarious activity away from as well, because now we're into a gambling environment where things are so easy to accomplish and they're legal in a lot of states. So I think those are a couple of major challenges as we have a steal that leads to Jackson losing it out of bounds.
Well, I want to touch on that. We talked earlier, and you made a very good point about high school athletes and them feeling like, okay, maybe they need to get out of their local environment to get some more exposure. How do, and I know the answer, but I'm just asking you kind of a hypothetical question, how do we provide more education to these local high school coaches on the NIL and on brand building and preparing these young athletes, young men for opportunities, young men and women for opportunities to earn money off of their name, image, and likeness without them feeling like they have to go to a prep school to get those type of opportunities?
That ball is deflected out of bounds. I think it begins with, as you just said, education. You've got to find leaders in each community that have looked through, and it might even be from the legal perspective. You get with the attorneys that don't have any skin in the game, and they provide some insights as to what can happen on a negative side. As a broadcaster, I think more in terms of helping our youth learn how to speak more, intelligently and speak more articulately with the design and goal of being able to be understood by the masses. That is one of their selling power or strengths as well. If you're able to articulate yourself, you become more marketable.
Absolutely. Not too many guys can sell a product without talking.
Back to live action. Nichols out near midcourt. Lost the basketball. His last touch by Heat. And it will go over to Dudash. 18-12 is our score. We've got 6:39 left to play before the break. Cross-court pass off the hands of Goldberg. It goes out of bounds. Still just a two-possession game.
There's been a lot of turnovers in this game so far. It's going to be important. It's going to come down to which team can settle the things down, settle each other down, and kind of take control of this game.
Bullet pass in close. Shot off the mark. The view. Backdoor feed. And that's Jones again. Jameer Jones. 4 field goals for him. He extends the lead to 8.
Much more active in the first half of today than he was in the first half yesterday.
From the perimeter. 3 ball in the air, rebounded. And this time it works out for Rondon. It's Goldberg. Likes to work with the left hand. Went cross court, ball deflected out of bounds, but it'll stay down this end.
And we're getting our first look at Connor Alavak. We haven't seen him much today.
3-point attempt came up no good.
And on cue, he grabs the rebound.
Alavak had a solid second half of play. After finishing up with 5 in the first half, he knocked down a couple of big field goals in that game.
He's just grabbed 2 big-time rebounds since coming into the game. Came straight in with energy, knew I've got to show coach that I need more playing time. I deserve to be out here. You don't get it by asking for it. You get it by showing your coach what you're capable of doing when you get those minutes.
Now they're running. There's the lob. And Dudash throws it off the foot of a Rip City player to keep the possession in favor of the View. So you said you knew the answer to the question that you posed to me. What is that answer?
The answer is education and bringing in consultants that have experience in the world of prep athletics, but also in the world of collegiate and professional athletics that can develop plans and develop game plans and strategies for these young men. And I think that it's eliminating the ego, eliminating the idea of this is my kid and saying this is our kid. And I think that that's the problem within grassroots and youth basketball is there's a lot of people that didn't birth the child talking about that's my kid. versus everybody coming together and working for the benefit of the player. Because if it's really about the player, you don't care who gets the credit.
Levinson put it in the hands of Ray. Ray with the floater. That's good.
He shocked me there. Usually when that many dribbles happen, something bad is coming behind them. In that situation, he was able to make something happen.
Jabral Ray, a 6'1 senior with that last field goal. On the wing with the fling. Pops out for Castello. He's already had 2 threes in the contest. Unable to knock down his third. Ray kicks it on the right side to Levinson, who's pure. Jacob Levinson.
Beautiful shot from the corner. I like that he wasted no motion. He knew he was open. He set his feet before he even got the ball. Catch and let it fly. Big time bucket. They needed that.
So we concurred on that thought process of getting people to help the players out with education. I'll pose one to you now. Does it stop at the collegiate level?
No, absolutely not. It needs to start at the high school level. I think that you talked about nefarious activity. The reason why nefarious activity happens within the world of basketball is the lack of education. And I'm not saying a lack of a formalized education, but a lack of basketball education. So you have parents that may not have experienced having a high-level athlete before or navigating the recruiting process. Maybe they never went through it. So when somebody comes to you and says, hey, your kid's going to go to college for free, he has a chance to be a pro, if you don't have education and nobody sat down and taught you what that process looks like and navigated you through it, it's easy to fall victim or fall prey to some of those people within the space of grassroots basketball that don't always have the best of intentions.
So just to clarify, are you saying that high school players should be tied to the name and likeness?
100%. 100%. And I think in some of the states allow it currently, some do not. But the reality is name, image, and likeness, if you sign a modeling contract at age 4, your kid earns money for each time that they take a picture, each time somebody posts that picture, they use it in an ad campaign or any of that, right? School districts, just from a kid showing up on count day, pick up any amount from $6,000 to $10,000 per year for that child showing up in school, right? Like the ticket sales at some of these games, you go to a football game in Texas, you're going to be calling a big one on Thursday, in Louisiana with Arch Manning playing. I'm positive that game will sell close to 5,000-6,000 tickets at $15, $20 a pop. You mean to tell me that kid shouldn't earn something off of his name, image, and likeness? I just think it's fair. I think that, name, image, and likeness to me evens the playing field versus saying let's pay athletes. Because of the disparity of revenue-generating sports, it's not fair to an athlete that may be an exceptional golfer at a university or an exceptional tennis player. But if you're able to make money off your name, image, and likeness, maybe there's a tennis center in your area that wants you to host a camp because you're doing such a great job, or in your hometown that wants to use your likeness. So it levels the playing field and allows for exceptional athletes that have worked tirelessly at their craft to earn something for that.
Very well thought out and expressed there, Justin. Appreciate that for sure as we return to live action. And again, this contest is a one-possession game, 3-point contest. The View leading Rip City 22-19. Justin Brantley alongside yours truly, the Mac Daddy, Charles McNeil. This Thursday, the battle shifts west from Miami to Louisiana for some gridiron action. Get a chance to see 5-star recruit Arch Manning as he leads Newman against St. Charles Catholic out of New Orleans. And the game will be played at Southeastern State University in Hammond, Louisiana. Stone's throw from Baton Rouge. Should be a great evening of football action as the battle rolls to the gridiron. And Goldberg with his first triple. Peter Goldberg.
And I love his effort and intensity. He's one of those kids that plays hard. No matter what's going on out there on the court, if things are going good, bad, and different, he's showing you that effort and intensity. He played hard towards the end of the game yesterday. The crowd was cheering for him with a couple of his crossovers. I really like his play.
Jones has it. Being guarded by Levinson.
On a side note, Peter Goldberg is the only player I've ever seen in a high-level game of basketball at the high school level wearing a pair of Converse.
Shot attempt goes up, no good. I know you don't go all the way back to my days, so that was commonplace.
Well, yeah, no, I know. I'm saying, current. You've got these.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't take it serious.
These kids love their Nikes. I haven't seen anybody say, "Let me, on my own, by choice of my own, put on a pair of Converse and play a game of basketball."
Aggressive move to the basket. Basket will not count.
Foul early. But yes, you talk back to your day and the Converse being the commonplace. I wonder how. I see the way those shoes were made. How were those guys able to play at a high level with that subpar footwear? I mean, it was the best of what they had, but still.
Well, I think that was probably a good portion of it. As Nichols gets it done again. I think that was a good part of it, that everybody had the same footwear. So there was no unfair advantage. You either had that, or in some cases you had, people wearing Keds, Adidas, which certainly back then wasn't a basketball shoe per se. It was more of a stylish thing for the folks in the New York area, and Pumas.
Big time shot we had there from Jabral Ray.
Clyde Frazier made those so popular, yes.
Clyde the Glide.
Left wing three, or elbow three, knocked down by Nichols. So Nichols warming up. Back-to-back field goals for him. And we've got a 4-point game. This one has been nip and tuck here in the second quarter. Dudash.
And that's the thing I'll say about this Rip City team is they're never fully out of the game. They play with such intensity. They battle back through adversity well. They work together. You can never count them out.
Layup is knocked down by Rondon. Jackson kept alive and controlled by Rip City. Inside of the final few seconds here of the second period. There he is again. Kalon Nichols, 6-foot senior with some aggression headed to the basket.
We talked about him at the lead end of the broadcast. This is exactly what he did in the second half of that game yesterday. He attacked the basket. He finished with ease through contact. He has the ability, a strong finisher with both his right and his left hand. He's just a fire plug on offense. I really like that young man.
Nichols contributing here in the second quarter. 7 points for him and his team. Now cut the lead to just 2. The View leading this one. Of course, the battle continues right here with game number 3 right around the corner. It is the KT Kings taking on CBC out of California. We looked at the matchups of yesterday. The KT Kings victorious over the High, 58-52. CBC held off a strong come-from-behind effort by Vertical Academy to win 76-68.
Yeah, and the KT Kings, they should be pretty well rested. Their starters didn't play much, if at all, in the second half. Coach allowed his reserves to finish it out, so it's going to be an interesting opportunity to see those guys well rested with fresh legs.
Shot clock is off. Cross-court pass.
Jameer Jones asking for a clear out.
Working against Levinson. He dribbles with the left hand. Takes it inside. Double, maybe triple team. Loose ball and a foul.
Oh, I know Coach is not happy about that. A foul to give him free throws with less than a second left. 93.5 feet away from the basket.
send Nichols to the line for the first time. After missing his first 2 free throws yesterday, he came on strong, knocking down the rest of his opportunities from the stripe. Kalon Nichols. Unofficially with 11 points in the first half, and that'll conclude the first 16 minutes of action in the Battle Miami. From Florida Memorial University with your score deadlocked at 30. Stay with us for much more. You're watching the Battle Miami on Peacock. Back inside the Lions' Den for day number 2 of the battle. It's halftime of game number 2, and our score is 30 apiece for the View and Rip City, joined by Justin Brantley, the National Recruiting Director for SUV TV and the host of the Brantley Method podcast. Happy to have the opportunity to sit alongside you for game 2 and day 2 of what has been a wonderful 2-day experience for me. This game, as you looked into it, you know, we came into it with high expectations for a lot of good team ball, and we certainly have had that in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are well coached. Like I said, I mean, we had Rip City, down early because of this right here, the ability to share the ball by the View, find open players, find the open man. They play and share the ball so well. They're very unselfish. They run, they get out in passing lanes, they make things happen. You have the high-flying action of Jameer Jones, who has 8 in the first half. He's a freshman. He's got a lot in his future. But also on the Rip City side, they're never out of a ball game, ever. They have so many weapons. Jabral Ray here finishes after a couple big, shifty dribbles. But Kalon Nichols has really paced them with 11 points. And the guy you're looking at right there, Naven Shabazz, he's an 8th grader. He has 8. But Nichols he has the ability to score at all 3 levels. He ignites his team. He gets to the basket, plays through contact, just really a passionate ball player. And those were the guys that brought them back when they were down early in the game yesterday. So that's why they're never really out of the game with the weapons that they have.
Yeah, and again, coaching is at the paramount in this tournament as well. Ron Oliver taking care of business as the coach of Rip City. And then on the other side, you go Coach Rudy F., who gets it done as well. I mean, the thing I like about Coach Rudy is the View team in this contest came in and kind of got off to a fast start. What he was able to do was, like you said, work the ball around, and sharing was caring. And when they took advantage of that sharing opportunity, they got buckets. They kind of got worked through in that back half of the second quarter as Rip City found a way to cut through their defense, and then they seem to get more into the game, more comfortable in their own skin.
Absolutely. Well, defense translates into offense, and Rip City was able to do early what they did yesterday a little later, which is go to the zone. They came to the zone a lot earlier in this game against the View, which opened things up, gave them that confidence, getting a couple stops here. Shabazz knocking down the outside shot. He had 2 threes in the first half early. When you have those things working for you and working to your advantage, it's easy to get back into a game and really take control. There you have the finish right there from Kalon Nichols. I really like him. I really like his explosiveness. But yet, the defensive effort from Rip City has been the difference. The defense turns into offense. They get energy fueled from success on the defensive end, which I love to see as a basketball purist.
And what is your prediction for the second half? Not so much score, but how this is going to unfold.
I think that Rip City will come out and continue to utilize that zone. They may extend it a little bit and apply some pressure in the front court to try and turn them over a little bit. I think that, in my personal opinion, Rip City's starting to find their way, and they're just gonna be a little bit too much for the View. Unless the View can have some strong outside shooting from Caslow down the stretch, I don't think that they're going to have enough to really combat what Rip City's able to bring to the table.
It was a kick ball. It leads to an easy layup on the inbounds. Rip City's basket scored by number 33, Shannon Fry. So Fry joins the party after a tremendous game yesterday. She knocked down 3 threes along the way and 4 free throws.
When you asked me my prediction there, I was tempted to look at you and in my Clubber Lane voice give you the answer of pain, but it just didn't fit the moment. But I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch Rocky after this is all said and done.
I think you might have flashbacks to last night's activity with Wilder and Fury. 3. What a fight that was.
You know, for years, we sat back and we talked about the future of boxing not really being what it was in our generation or what we've seen in past generations, and kind of the extinction of the heavyweight, if you will. And I think that those two guys are showing the boxing is still very much here.
All right, going to ask you after the next stoppage of play to give us our scoring leaders. On both sides, we touched on Shabazz and what he's provided with his 8-point performance as they get the ball down low. And I think that was Dudash that got that field goal, the coach obstructing my vision. There's a lob. On Don. Nichols with the strip. Goes high in the air to Levinson. Levinson on the spin. Double team. Loses it on the baseline. And here comes the view. They've got numbers. 4 on 3. To the basket with the right hand.
Those unforced errors will kill you if you're not careful. I see the view picking up the pressure. Standing at 94 feet.
From behind, Dudash. Underneath. It's Jackson for 2.
Again, I mean, this is early. This is preseason. We're talking October basketball. These guys have not seen a lot of pressure, and they haven't worked on their press break a whole lot, and it shows.
What type of benefit is it for players this close to the start of the season to play in an event like this? Will it benefit their high school teams?
Without a doubt. You're going to go into your high school games, and you're not going to have those early jitters of playing in front of the crowd. You're going to have a little bit of cohesiveness with your team after playing through some adversity, for a lot of these guys, playing against teams that are loaded with higher ranked and better players than what they're going to see in their regular high school league. So it's important to have this type of event early on in the season to prepare them for success long term.
Jabral Ray with the last field goal.
And to touch on that, I mean, even if you didn't have success, even for example, Life Christian Academy, who walked away with 2 losses, they saw some positive things from their team that they're going to be able to carry over, they're going to be able to teach off of. So this is a teachable learning point for them moving into the season.
Jabral Ray with that last field goal. 3-point attempt off the mark for Jackson. Nichols to Levinson. That's Ray to Levinson. Finds Alavak. His left-handed attempt from close range just misfired.
He's going to head to the free throw line. Nice pass. Another one of those SBAs. Should have been an assist.
I think he can't believe he missed that one from that close in. 6'8" junior. And I'll ask you again for those scoring leaders through this portion of the third period.
Yes, so right now we have Jason Jackson and Jameer Jones with 8 apiece for the View. They're leading the way on that end. And then for Rip City, we've got Jabral Ray with 9, Kaylin Nichols with 11, and Ron Don with 8. Also, Naven Shabazz with 8.
So balanced scoring on both sides of the basketball, just exactly what we thought it would be. Rip City in the view. And a 2-point contest as Jason Jackson drive to the hole, came up shy of the mark, but he was hacked in the act, and he'll go to the line for 2.
We haven't had a whole lot of free throws for the view as of yet in this ball game. So getting to the free throw line, attacking and getting downhill versus settling for jump shots is going to be important down the stretch.
Between the two teams, only 8 attempts from the charity stripes thus far. 1-point game. Nichols. Coach wanted a traveling violation. Alivak back to Nichols into the corner for a 3 ball. Followed up inside, no good.
You need those.
On the right side, a 3. That is short, stolen away. And a layup is up and down for Goldberg.
I like Goldberg. I like him because he's choosing to be different. I love the Converse. I'm telling you, he might be my new favorite player on the view, strictly because of his footwear.
Well, I like him because he's so steady. Solid, runs the show at point.
There you go, inserting logic.
Live long and prosper. There's the right hand. Follow up, no good. Tipped up, no good.
Way to stay active, and after that was offensive rebound from Jabral Ray.
Jameer Jones with a run toward the hole. Hit the floor hard, but he's okay. He'll get up and step up to the line to shoot 2 free throws. He'll do so with a 1-point edge.
And with his athletic ability, I would have expected to see him get to the line a lot more. I think that that's something that if I'm talking to that young man, or if I'm communicating with him or working with him on his development, my advice to him would be, get to the basket. Find ways to get to the basket. Make it easy for yourself. If you watch the way Angel Montas did 51, he had 2 threes. The bulk of his points came getting downhill, squaring his shoulders, and finishing at the rim. And Jameer Jones has the ability to do that. He has the athletic ability to do that. He's still young. He's only a freshman, so I'm not concerned about him not doing that currently. But if he wants to really, really be efficient and successful at a high level, that's the way that he's going to be able to make that happen.
Jameer Jones with 10 points to lead the View's attack. And Rip City giving the ball away down the other end. Goldberg on the drive and the kick. 3-pointer in the air. Grazes off the front iron. Into the front court comes Ray. Ray to the right side, Levinson. To the rack, he scores. Jacob Levinson with the field goal. 6'3" junior. Levinson had 5 points in the last contest.
And here we're going to get another look at it. Drives and finishes. You know why he was able to get that driving lane and make that happen so easily? It was the 3-pointer that he knocked down earlier from that exact same position where he caught the ball. He didn't have to move his feet. He was set. He was ready to shoot. So automatically when he caught that in position to make something happen, that defender came out ready to close out and wasn't prepared for him to blow by and get to the rim.
Jameer Jones knocking down another free throw. Had 3 in a row before he misfired there. Nichols coming back. He's in the paint. Elevates, puts it off the window.
I really like his effort and intensity. He knew they needed a bucket, and he said, I'm the one to give it to us.
I paused because I was waiting for the official to mark the basket good, and there it is. Plus the free throw opportunity.
He left that free throw, left that open. It's like when you go to the grocery store and you buy something and you leave your pennies in the little jar. You think they're insignificant, but they add up after a while.
You must have been to my house the other day.
Listen, I think you go to any of our houses, and I'm still old enough. I'm young enough to be connected with this, but I'm old enough to remember the big water jugs that our parents filled with change.
No question. I was thinking in particular my kids who don't think change matters.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that don't bring you your change.
No, they've been pretty good about that. I guess I somewhat demand that.
Yeah, that's the issue I have with my kids. They act like change doesn't exist. They're rounding it up.
Right-handed, explosive move to the basket. And an offensive foul was registered on that drive.
So I like the aggressiveness there. Again, it's something that he'll learn through experience. If you watch Angel Montas' ability to use his dexterity and his agility to laterally move around defenders, Jameer Jones is still young, but I like the aggressiveness on that drive.
Dribble drive and the kick out. Kicking on the right side for a wide open three. Good look. And a late close led to a foul on the play, and he'll shoot three.
Here you have another look at it. I like how he slowly drifted to the corner, feet set, ready to shoot as soon as it left his hands. Again, this Rip City team understands spacing, and they do a great job of getting open, getting in positions to be successful, putting yourself in a position for your teammate to find you, to see you and find you.
8 points in the first half, now 10 in the game. And give him 11. Eighth grader showing well in the Battle Miami. Shabazz. And the future truly is bright for that guy. You see him as a 2 or potentially down the road a lead guard?
I'll tell you, nowadays, for me, basketball is pretty much positionless when you have size. So the only position that isn't positionless for me is your point guard. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't see him as a lead guard now because he's in 8th grade and you never know, but I see him as more of a wing, more of a scorer right now. Obviously, he could work on look at that play there from Jason Jackson. I had to stop my thought. Couldn't keep going with that man coming down the middle like that. But I think that as he continues to develop, he could be a 1 through 3. But right now I'm seeing more of that 2-3, that wing action from him. Jason Jackson straight punished the rim on that drive.
Rip City now with the 3-point edge over the View. Rip City had been behind throughout most of this contest.
Dudash with a long 2.
Dudash has been trying to get that 3 ball to drop. His 4th 2-point field goal. Levinson. Bobbled the pass. 3-point attempt, no good. And now they'll reset the offense with an opportunity for another 3 that didn't fall. Loose ball, still loose, picked up, kicked it out, and now they're running with 2 seconds, 1 second. And I don't think he realizes it, and apparently he did not. So Goldberg let the time run out on him, and we played 3 quarters from Florida Memorial University, the Lions Den. And we've got a 1-point game. You're watching continuing coverage of the Battle Miami on Peacock.
And we're back to the fourth quarter of action. Ooh. And it's almost as if Jameer Jones heard us talking earlier and said, hey, I'm going to get more aggressive and start to attack the rim.
Well, he did it in the second quarter as well to open up that second quarter. Drove straight to the basket as we came out of break, and looking to do so here in the fourth period.
Comes up empty on the front end of the two free throws.
Talk about his fundamentals at the line. Do you like his form or no?
Not necessarily dislike his form, but his routine is a little bit. But then again, there's been a lot of interesting forms and techniques and routines that we've seen over the years, dating all the way back to Brent Berry and the the underhand Tyler free throw. So, you know, I tend to say if it works for you, do what you do.
Well, in the 50s, that was quite popular, you know, 40s and 50s, that underhand delivery. And as sad as it is to say, when I was shooting free throws poorly, I actually tried one in an 8th grade game and knocked down a couple. It's like nothing else is working.
That's usually where I lose at in horse. When they pull out
the underhand.
The underhand.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I just can't do it.
Jackson from the perimeter. He's got a 3 ball.
And that's a dynamic of his game that he hasn't shown a lot of, but he has an ability to knock down that outside shot.
Alavac is on the board. Connor Alavac. Jackson. We talked about the benefit of knocking down a 3 earlier to allow Levinson to get the hold. Now Jackson's doing that same thing.
Absolutely. That acrobatic finish, you got just enough English off the glass. You love to see guys be able to finish through contact, and now his team is up 3.
Nichols leads to Shabazz in that corner.
Not enough
shot.
legs.
Now it's 2-on-2. Waiting for him to come up the floor. Jackson gets it to him. Now he's working against Levinson. Levinson giving up 3 inches in this matchup. Giving him a wide berth. He'll try his attempt at 3. Shabazz with the board. He tries his attempt to get it down low to Alavac. Tipped away. Jackson with the reverse move.
Beautiful move.
So the View on a small run have opened up a 5-point advantage, regaining the lead with plays like this.
Jackson's playing with a different level of confidence here in this fourth quarter. He knew exactly what he wanted to do with the ball there, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do with the ball here. And then we're going to show you one more clip where he made up his mind. Okay, yep, going that way. Finish. Finish with both hands exceptionally well, both sides of the basket, through contact, no contact, doesn't matter. 3-point ball, whatever you want me to do, I'm going to give it to you, Coach. I really like this young man. He's had an exceptional recruiting process so far. He's a 2023 junior with offers from Florida, LSU, Virginia Tech, and Penn State.
55-50 is our score. Exciting finish to come in this inside of 6 minutes left in regulation. And then the final game of this 3-game set. 7 games over 2 days. The Battle Miami will continue with the KT Kings taking on CBC.
And I'm excited for that one. We're going to have a lot of firepower in that game. Obviously, we talked about it. Greg Glenn with his commitment to the University of Michigan, him playing in that game. You're going to have a lot of other high major athletes on the floor. It's going to be an exciting game for us to finish with.
Top of the circle 3. Came up short. Here's Jackson running away. Throws it up off the backboard to Jones.
That right there was a big-time highlight.
They talked about it during the timeout, apparently. The Jones know to go straight to the rim.
I think Jones is always going straight to the rim. Here we're going to have another look at it. As soon as it came off the rim, he's running. He let his teammate know, I'm behind you, throw it up, and I'll go get it. To think that that man's a freshman, I mean, the future is so bright for him. He has so much capability, so much upside to be successful.
Wow. That's elevation, Holmes.
Looks like we've got a wet spot on the court down here. Player safety always comes first.
And to show you that the youngster, Jameer Jones, is multi-talented. Not only can he fly above the rim, but he can also provide his janitorial services.
Well, we're going to take a look at him in his high flying, and then I'm going to comment on that. There he goes. Go get it at the top. Head almost at the rim. What that says to me, when you see a young man in an event like this, down here in Miami with all this event staff around, and he takes a moment to wipe up the floor with a mop, that lets me know the humility that he has. That lets me know that he's been coached right. That also lets me know that he's been raised right. You know, there's no job too small, no job too large for him. When you see a player that's willing to do that, that shows me where his character is. That's the type of young man I want to recruit.
NIL, we touched on that a little bit earlier. Maybe there's a job for him.
Oh, without a doubt. I think
promoting a certain service.
He's going to have plenty of suitors. I mean, his Instagram, he already has over 40,000 followers as a freshman. You know, you'll see him attract quite a bit of attention moving forward.
Nichols aggressively to the rack.
That's what they needed. They needed that there. You know, that run that the View's been on to start this fourth quarter. They needed something to slow that down a bit.
Still a two-possession game. Dudash, 3-point from the right side, no good. And here comes Nichols again, trying to go 2 for 2, and he does.
That's the thing about Rip City. They're never out of a game. You cannot count them out.
2 possessions, 2 buckets for Nichols. Good passing game as they work the triangle. It rattles off, no good. Shabazz with the rebound. He'll go cross court.
Get the ball back into Nichols' hands.
To the basket goes Ray. Castello got the foul. Sending Ray to the line. First opportunity from the stripe.
Makes the first one, makes it a 2-point game, 1-possession game. Down the stretch, this last 4 minutes, this is must-see TV. You don't want to walk away from the screen now to go get your popcorn because you might come back and be surprised at what the ending turned out to be.
Ray with 11. 1-point game. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. Goldberg. Jackson gives it back to Goldberg with 15 on the shot clock. Goldberg.
Oh,
the late feed.
He overthought it.
Behind his man. He was all the way to the rack. He should have laid it in.
He's such a pass-first point guard that he's constantly looking to get others involved. He didn't think about himself. He could have easily finished that and give them the 3-point advantage. I know he's kicking himself right now, but he's going to play hard on the defensive end to try and get that one back. I know him. You'll see this entire possession. He's going to play tough defense.
Coach had asked for a switch on that last come through. Levinson with Goldberg on him. To Nichols. Turning and facing. And the ball deflected out of bounds. And there's a turnover.
There's those unforced errors and unforced turnovers that we talked about early on. You can't have those down the stretch of a one-possession ball game.
Goldberg deliberately bringing it up the floor. Dudash underneath. Lefty layup. No good, but it was a whistle.
Late whistle, but it was a right
foul.
call. These are big free throws right here. Dudash good on the first. This next one makes it a 3-point game.
He made his only free throw yesterday in a conventional 3-point play. So 3 for 3 for the line in this 2-day event is Dudash. I'd like to see him get to the line more. Not because of the percentages, just because of the way his game is played.
Yep.
Turnover gives the ball back.
That's one of the things I like about the View. They have a lot of unselfish players that play with a ton of effort and intensity and enthusiasm throughout the entire course of a game. So they're always going to have an opportunity to make something happen and be involved in that end of the game because their kids don't think me, they think we.
Jameer Jones backs it out. Cross court. Finds Castello. Jackson has it. Shot clock down to 5. Jackson with the pull-up 3. Rebounded, pulled out by Goldberg. He'll reset the offense with a fresh 35. Underneath. Jones lost control of it, out to Goldberg, who tries to get back into him, and he gets it stolen away. Now they've got numbers. And as Levinson goes to the basket, he's fouled.
Well, you saw there Goldberg is full of energy at all points of the possession. But here we have Rip City out and running, 3-on-2. You need to finish here. Good job getting to the free throw line. Levinson's first appearance at the line here today.
Nine points now in the game for Levinson.
Got a 1-point game. This is what you love to see, what you've come to expect from the battle. It's tightly contested, games full of excitement and energy, start to finish, high-level basketball, high-level coaching, great atmosphere and experience. They're going to get him with the charge. Oh! He looked like he had position there. Maybe he slightly turned a little bit as Dudash was coming in, but I thought he was going to be able to draw the charge. Here we'll see if Dudash is able to continue his perfect percentage from the free throw line here at the battle. He can blame me for that one, right? What do they call it? The commentator's curse.
The broadcaster's curse. Internationally known and revered by players and coaches alike.
If you're friends and family of Jaden Dudash or cheering for the View, do not blame me for those 2 missed free throws. I'm just saying what I see.
At Justin W. Brantley, if you like.
Listen, my Twitter mentions already experience shambles every once in a while. There's no need for added fuel to the fire.
We've got a 1-point game nearing the 92nd mark of the 4th period. Jameer Jones, a fabulous freshman, out on the perimeter. Driving to the hole, and we've got a held ball.
Ooh.
Possession arrow will go over to Rip City.
That's a tough call, but I like his aggressiveness. I like seeing that. I want to see him get downhill more and utilize his size, strength, and athleticism.
Cross-court pass. Shabazz grabs it, finds his teammate who gets tripped by the court monster.
Yeah, I didn't see. It looked to me like he tripped on the line.
And Ray will go to the line. Rip City trails by 1. talked about a huge free throw opportunity for Dudash just a few minutes ago. Here we go here with a very important trip. It's has a chance to think about it. He's towing that line. Again, as a coach, do you have him back off the line and come back to it?
Yeah, sometimes too much time to think about it. They'll put you in a tough position here. But he said, don't worry about it, I got it.
That's what we call the curse in reverse.
Here's the opportunity to give him the lead.
And he does.
72 seconds of basketball left here.
Ray, the 6'1" senior, knocking down a pair of clutch free throws as we are reaching 1 minute left to go in regulation and a 1-point game. Rip City with the lead. The View with the basketball, and Jones misses from close range.
He wants to have that one back.
Levinson.
Ooh. Coach called timeout right in time. Right on time.
Love to see that one again. I wasn't sure if Levinson didn't travel. Tried to negotiate that pass underneath, but a timeout is called. As the steal was rendered, it comes with 4, or just before the steal was rendered, 44.8 seconds remaining. Rip City, a 1-point lead, and what are your expectations for this final seconds of the fourth period?
So I'm expecting with the lead, Coach to talk to his guys. Coach Patrick Farrelly is going to draw up something in the timeout here that's going to have them, number one, move the ball. You know, Rip City does a good job of moving and spacing the floor, finding the open man. He's going to tell the guys, don't settle for the first shot you see. You've got a 1-point advantage. There's 27 seconds left on the shot clock. Take your time, work through the offense. I expect them to start moving downhill around the 10-second mark in the shot clock if they're not fouled prior to that. Get something moving at the basket. Hopefully try and draw contact. An ideal play would be a finish at the basket with the and one, but anything that's going to either get you a bucket or get you to the free throw line. Moving at the basket around the 10-second mark. That's what I would be calling up right now.
Coach Rudy Ferratio of the View and Coach Ron Oliver of Rip City matching wits. Their talented teams in the final seconds of this one. Rip City, 1-point edge. Nichols with the basketball. To the rack he goes. He misses. Jones is ready to run. He's got Jackson on his right. He goes to the left side to Dudash, and it gets stolen away. Now Dudash on the floor trying to get the ball back, and he nearly does. That was another golden opportunity for the View.
There are a lot of coachable moments on both sides of the floor here for these teams to build off of this. No matter what the outcome is, you're able to go home and sit down and have some conversations that are going to prepare them for the rest of the season. For example, Shabazz showed a little bit of his age, grabbing the rebound there and trying to dribble it out. You know, it's a 20-second game. You're up one. You want to either A, kick it ahead, or B, allow them to come and foul you. But he's trying to dribble it. He's got 4 guys around him. He's very lucky that didn't turn into a turnover.
Nathan Shabazz at the line. The 8th grader.
Cool is the other side of the pillow.
Some of the bigger moments for him. Miami knocks down 2 of them to give his team a 3-point edge. Still a 1-possession game. But Shabazz coming through huge and has not changed his emotion at all.
Listen,
Outward emotion, at least.
1-possession game still anybody's ball game. It's going to be exciting and interesting to see what defensive set Coach Oliver's drawing up. I see him with his board in his hand. Looks like he might be talking to them about buttoning up on those shooters on the corners. So he probably will stay away from the zone, which is what they've played a lot of as of late to try and shut down on the driving lane. But in this, you got to switch everything. You can't allow any of the shooters to get open looks at the basket, switch everything, force everything to be a contested shot or something going at the basket. The other thing that he's telling his guys right now is do not foul. If they get a layup going at the basket, that does not hurt us in this situation. We are still up 1. So run them off the three-point line. Do not foul. Do not give an opportunity for an and one play. And let's walk out of here with the win.
Castelo would be the likely target should you go for a three-point attempt. He's knocked down a couple in this game. Peter Goldberg has one as well. And Jason Jackson knocked down a triple here in the second half. You're going for a three-point attempt. Those might be your guys. And they've inserted Jackson King back in the lineup. He has 2 points so far. Hasn't seen any action quite some time. Adding another guard for the backcourt. And they'll go with the pass, and it's stolen away. Ray has it, alertly picking it up. And that senior experience coming out big right there on the defensive stop.
Another coachable moment for them to look at on film afterwards. He had 3 players up in the front court, pass the ball out, run down some more of that time. Granted, yes, he is headed to the free throw line, but it still is only a 1-possession ball game. In best case scenario, we're going to walk out of this free throw situation with a 2-possession ball game where I'd rather see you kick it out of your hands, run down the clock a little bit more. Let's try and end the game on that possession.
Ray ending a 5 free throw perfect streak he had going there in this fourth period. And now they get a breakout. Long rebound from there, but it won't matter as Rip City wins a nip and tuck affair. Rip City victorious 63-59.
Yeah, I told you, here we have it. You see Nichols, who's done a phenomenal job attacking the basket, finding the open man, throwing it up for his teammate to go get it. Naven Shabazz, the 8th grader, heady play, looking ahead, seeing his teammate Kalen Nichols wide open for the 3. We talked about it early. The firepower from Rip City, I knew that they would have enough as long as they were able to stay connected and play as a team to beat this DeVue team. The DeVue team was all really on the backs of Jason Jackson and Jameer Jones with their scoring. And you can't win ball games like that when you're playing against a team that has multiple scores in double digits.
Keep it locked right here for more of the battle on Peacock as this one is in the books. Final score 63-59. Rip City picking up the win. And with that, they're 2-0 in this prestigious event. The battle will continue on Peacock right after this.